Rangers from Kenya's busiest game reserve are locked in a battle with one of nature's most intelligent animals.
Don't underestimate the elephant. I can see the footprints here.
These giants are causing irreparable damage to an already fragile ecosystem.
We're going to have to put protection all around the trees.
But in a time when elephants are in danger across Africa, every single animal is important.
We will hope that the bullet has not shattered anything major.
This is the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, where even the most routine day can suddenly become unpredictable. We're at the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, a prime elephant habitat located in the foothills of Mount Kenya. Wildlife Ranger Lugemi is out on patrol, searching for the telltale signs that his night will be eventful. They usually are. He's looking for his adversaries, a pair of 5-ton male elephants that have been testing the rangers in a battle of wits over an exclusion zone.
These elephants are so notorious because when they hear the sound of their vehicle, they just sneak, go, and run away.
Lewa is at the tail end of the dry season, which is limiting the elephants' available food. The exclusion zone is lush with vegetation, and that's why they want to get in. It doesn't take long to find signs that the two elephants are up to something.
I can see the footprints here, here and there. A fresh tree. This one is being cut within some few seconds ago. Maybe we follow this road to see whether we can see the elephants.
Lugemi keeps going. The elephants won't be too far. Something catches his eye.
I can see a sign, wire are hanging that side.
Sure enough, the 20,000-volt electric fence lay in tangles, and the elephants are nowhere to be seen. The fence is meant to zap them with enough electricity to discourage them from crossing into the fenced-off area. But these two clever elephants have figured out a way to break that. Just how is something that Lugemi won't be able to figure out right now. His job now is to try and find the elephants, and if possible, chase them out. Lugemi struggles to find the elephants. It means they're deep within the exclusion zone.
When these elephants heard the sound of the vehicle and the light of the vehicle, they have disappeared like ghosts.
Without a working fence to keep the elephants out, there's nothing that Lugemi can do. His job is done for the night.
Asante.
Okay.
Once the elephants have their fill, they will break back out, creating more work for the fence team to repair in the morning. The exclusion zones are key areas of vegetation, the areas that have been damaged by elephants because of overeating. They have been blocked to allow them time to regenerate. Most elephants at Lewa abide by the fence, but the pair of elephants do not. This morning, it's time to evaluate the damage they've done.
This elephant probably would have followed the exclusion zone all the way down from the bottom.
The elephants broke into an exclusion zone protected by an old style of fence, a configuration that poses little challenge for one of Africa's most intelligent creatures.
The elephant have figured out ways of getting into this old style configuration of fence. They just put their front foot onto the post and knock it down. The fence shorts and across they go. And they've learned over the years that if they don't touch the wires, they're through.
The problem stems from the fact that elephants migrate. Each family group would have a specific range, a migration pattern that goes back generations. During the dry season, these elephants traditionally would have moved from Mount Kenya through Lewa and into the surrounding territory. But this corridor has been restricted by human development and several commercial farms. Combine this with decades of threat from ivory poaching, and now the hundreds of elephants that used to walk through Lewa are restricted to Lewa, and their demands for food and water are wreaking havoc on the ecosystem.
When Lewa was first established as a wildlife conservancy, all this was woodland, acacia forest. A lot of the vegetation was being destroyed. Something needed to be done quickly. So this is an exclusion zone, and inside it's become a little forest. And it's just a haven for wildlife. It might seem cruel to keep the elephant out of all the wooded areas where there's lots of food for them, but if you don't do it, this whole area is going to end up like a desert. There'll be nothing for any of the animals to eat, so it's something which has to be done.
The importance of protecting these core areas has forced Lewa to up their game and to adopt a better solution.
This is a new style configuration that we've introduced. The two top wires and the protruding outriggers are live, so that now is going to stop any animal from even getting anywhere too close to the wire or to the post.
Most of the exclusion zones have used this new configuration, and they have been working for now. But the best solution for the elephants and the ecosystem is to re-establish as many natural migration routes as possible, so the animals can better move through Lewa, reducing the amount of time they stay. One historical corridor linked the two key ecosystems of Mount Kenya and the greater Samburu ecosystem, which runs through Lewa. But development and a busy highway has closed much of this corridor in recent years. To prevent total closure, Lewa partnered with a variety of conservation groups and the local communities and built an underpass. The corridor opened in January of 2011, and the experiment almost immediately proved to be a success. The elephants caught on quickly, and increasing numbers are using the human-made corridor as a migration route. But many of the elephants born in the past 2 decades were never taught to migrate, and without that knowledge, can't resist the lure of the vegetation in the fenced-off areas. As the dry season progresses, damage is occurring more and more frequently. The 2 rogue elephants that Lugemi has been tracking have upped their game. Now even the new style fencing is not stopping them.
He's basically cut it here at the tree. So he's used his tusks, and this is insulated, and that's what they do, and they just come up with new ways all the time of getting in. So there'll be another 2 or 3 places that we need to fix.
The problem is bigger than just 2 clever and highly motivated elephants. Once they become expert at breaking through the fence, they'll teach the other elephants, and that puts all the exclusion zones at risk. For the staff at Lewa, protecting wildlife often means managing conflicts that happen when animals and humans cross into each other's territory. Right now, Lewa has a challenge on its hands. 2 aggressive and very clever males have been repeatedly breaking through electrified fences and getting into restricted areas. With every strategy exhausted, the staff at Lewa has to make a tough choice. In consultation with the Kenya Wildlife Service, they've decided to cut off the elephant's tusks.
Making the decision to detusk is not an easy decision. We have to be 100% sure that that animal has done it on a number of occasions. Not every single animal here on Lewa is owned by the government, so we need KWS permission.
Detusking an elephant sounds drastic, But there are many reasons why it's used by people managing wildlife. Elephants can survive very well without their tusks. In fact, they can break off in the natural course of an elephant's life. The operation will be led by an experienced hand, KWS veterinarian Matthew Mutinda.
Akishalewa hana direction, lakini tukipeleka mbele kidogo tugongee hapo na kuwa mzuri.
The rangers quickly find the first of the problem elephants, but finding him is only half the challenge.
The terrain is bad. Yeah, we're waiting for the guys to go to a good area because the terrain here is really hilly and a lot of valleys. So ilipofika mwisho, ilikanyanga mawe above the cliff like 200 meters. Wow.
Once the dart hits, it takes about 5 minutes for the tranquilizer to knock the elephant out. But that's not the only concern. The terrain where the darting is done is very important. If it falls on uneven ground, it could be inaccessible for the capture team, or worse, pose a danger to the animals.
We want them to go up that valley to the flat area.
A crew is dispatched to try to move the herd to a safer position.
Go and see if they are now moved into a good position and try to see what we can do.
The elephants are on a flat patch of land. Now the team has to be careful they don't spook the elephants. Rangers are deployed to keep the animals from climbing the ridge. Matthew makes the difficult shot. Now they have to hope that the elephant doesn't run and disappear into the bush.
Let maji. Sawa. Don't underestimate the elephant.
Detusking requires a heavy-duty tool, but it's a very precise task.
Detusking is a delicate operation. There's a certain amount of length you have to cut. There's beyond a certain length, if you cut, you get the nerve. Okay. You have to really be careful that we are within the safe limit. Okay.
Ivory poaching is a major problem that once almost wiped the African elephant off the planet. Ivory tusks this size could fetch between 80 to 100,000 US dollars on the black market. They're handed off to the Kenyan wildlife officials, who will take the tusks to a secured facility.
Okay. Oh yeah. Everyone is happy? Na mtu amekuwa anataka kuchukua picha nini? Okay. Sawa.
Matthew administers the antidote. It works fast. The team has just a minute to clear the area so they're not in the way when the elephant wakes up.
Let's go, guys.
We have to go a bit far place.
The team stands by to make sure that the elephant is okay. But this guy will wake up confused and defensive. There's a chance he'll charge the crew.
Good, very good. It's always happy when an animal works up very well.
The detusking went off without a hitch. Now the crew heads off to find the second elephant.
I just want to prepare that so we're able to be knocking him down. Nisaidie kuniwekea sindano. Unajua pasali aende pale asiolo pale kuliko ateremkia hii laka ya anafanya makosa.
Right from the get-go, nothing is going smoothly with the second animal. He's been spooked by the vehicles and is on the run. However, the elephant is now in full flight mode, and it's a worst-case scenario. Matthew has a difficult decision to make. Attempt an extremely difficult shot or let this mission go. If the tranquilizer kicks in and the elephant passes out and rolls down the hill, it could prove fatal. As soon as he drops, again, it's all hands on deck.
Hebu tujadiliane. Wapi tunakata? Nani ako na kalamu? 37.
The tusks will go into a government vault where they are locked away so they can't be used by the illegal ivory trade.
We've taken in quite a length of his tusks, denying him the weapons used for breaking down exclusion zones. Lakini itakuwa bado ngumu sana hiyo position. Leta hiyo kitu kingine, leta hiyo. Oh, you go. You have to take a picture. We now have cut the horns, taken the vital samples. I'm going to revive him.
The elephant will wake up and be on his way. But without the tusks, he won't be able to break any more fences. That keeps him safe and also keeps him out of the exclusion zones, which means keeping the environment safe as well. The next mission with Lewa's security team is about to get more complicated, as Mother Nature refuses to cooperate. Beyond the borders of the Lewa Conservancy are a series of farms and villages. Today, 4 elephants have been spotted roaming in unprotected farmland. For Lewa's head of security operations, John Pomori, this is a critical situation.
Look a bit.
Lewa Conservancy's elephant population is too large for its size, so the elephants that are constantly searching for food have started to break out of the conservancy to raid the local farmers' crops. A single elephant can destroy an entire family's crop in one night. So this is a major problem. And there's more danger. If challenged, they could kill someone or be shot by the locals. It means a major operation to get them back in, and fast. The operation begins with some heavy lifting. The crew digs up a mile of fence to create an opening big enough for the elephants to get back into Lewa.
So we are here now trying to push them in with a helicopter to protect them.
The helicopter is deployed, and the operation is underway. He'll battle at best, even for Lewa CEO Mike Watson, an experienced helicopter pilot who has done hundreds of these operations.
Yeah, that wind is strong.
The helicopter gets the elephants running, but in the wrong direction. Instead of heading into Lewa, the 4 elephants run back into the farmland.
You know, the helicopter tried to push this elephant in. They just come close to the gap, but they turn back again, so we just stopped. We decide now to just push them by foot.
So John adds rangers on the ground into the mix. The rangers fire guns. The goal is to make enough noise so that the elephants flee into Lewa. But it's tricky. If it doesn't work, they could have 4 very angry elephants charging at them. John keeps his eye on the action.
We don't want really to go in front of them, because if we go in front of them, we'll stop them going. So we just keep them just pushing like that.
This operation is moving slowly, and now there is a new challenge. It's rapidly getting dark.
They're still just walking along the fence. The guys here are pushing them, and the guys are so close you can see, you know, between the elephant and the guys are about 100 meters. We are close to the gap. They are trying now to push them closely.
The crew works flat out in the dying light, but the elephants are scattering. And as it gets darker, the hopes of getting them back into Lewa are fading.
So they have just get to there's a gate here. They have get to the gate, and they decide now to go back again. So we are not really winning here. It's getting dark. They're not going anywhere. We can just call it a day. And then we see the following morning whether they will manage to go back, or maybe they will manage to come back inside Lewa.
John and his team reluctantly call it a day. Elephants roaming outside of the protection of Lewa means they're in extreme danger of getting shot by an angry farmer or poached.
We have tried all our best, but no luck. So we are just heading back. Then we try tomorrow again.
The morning brings mixed news. 3 elephants are found healthy and close by. A 4th, who is possibly the last marauder, stumbles into Lewa with a gunshot wound. KWS veterinarian Matthew Mutinda is called in to treat the animal.
We got a call from the radio room that one of the field rangers had sighted a suburb of elephant
that is walking with difficulty. We decided to come and investigate and see if there's something we can do to it.
Right now, the elephant is on a hillside, a treacherous location for a rescue mission.
We're going to try and assess the animal. So we leave the trucks here. Okay, let's go, guys. Aba, moja. So there's a lion somewhere. There's a lion in the vicinity, not far from us.
The presence of the lion adds excitement for the rangers, but it's all part of working in the wilds of Africa.
Where he is, there's very little we can do. This lagger is dangerous. If it's in a good area, then you let me know so that I can go and make that.
The team gets to work trying to herd the elephant to flatter, more open terrain, where it will be easier to get to him and safer for the animal. Meanwhile, Matthew prepares his tranquilizer gun and also braces for a worst-case scenario.
If the leg is broken, we put it down.
If the leg is broken, septicemia will set in, and it will mean the end for an animal of this size.
Very dangerous. So you're ready? Can you see the way to Peter?
Even though he's limping and obviously in distress, this elephant will be very defensive and difficult to approach. Matthew and his team move cautiously. The team has to be ready to act immediately once the elephant drops. Luckily, the elephant falls on flat ground. The team has to work quickly. Every minute puts added stress on the animal and strain on its respiratory system, so time is of the essence.
Hey, wait a minute. Unajua hii maneno. Tena. Ngoja kidogo basi.
Now Matthew can confirm that the elephant is suffering from a bullet wound to the inside of its leg.
There's blood and pus coming out. We will treat this elephant with the hope that the bullet has not shattered anything major. Chika, tena. Angalia mzuri ujue ni nini.
The bullet itself doesn't pose a long-term threat to the elephant, but they need to determine whether its leg is broken.
Kuja Hedwig. Acha twende tulete vitu alafu ndio tutengeneze. Good, thank you.
The drug only immobilizes the animal. The team pours water on it constantly to prevent it from overheating.
Okay, good. Thank you. And ushike hiyo mguu mzuri. One more, just put it in there. Put something to flush out. Kuna dawa hapa.
Matthew won't remove the bullet. Instead, he drains the wound to prevent infection and give it a chance to heal.
Watch out for your camera. Yeah. Cover all this. Trying to remove it, you create more damage than just leaving it there. Okay, toa hiyo takataka. Tunatoa damu sasa na kuamsha.
The elephant is patched up. It's time to revive him.
Haya, twendeni. Be careful then, please. Okay. Kuja nikuonyeshe. Unashika hivi. These are the These are the veins, these are the arteries.
The antidote is administered, and within seconds, the elephant is conscious and struggling back to its feet. Right now, he's wounded and vulnerable. But with luck, there's no reason that this elephant won't fully recover.
It's really satisfying to imagine that the animal wandered in the right place, was sighted at the right time, and now we hope that it really heals and he gets a good chance, gets a good shot of life.
But Matthew has little time to rest. He's about to join a massive collaring effort as the struggle for the safety of these animals continues. At the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, managing the overabundant population of elephants is overwhelming.
We're going to try and assess the animal.
The big population of such a large animal has put a strain on Lewa. Managing elephants means protecting the environment from overgrazing and trying to keep them from wreaking havoc on local communities. Lewa has come up with a number of solutions, like trying to restore the animal's traditional migration routes. Another tool in their arsenal is using GPS collars that allow individuals to be easily tracked. Lewa and their partners plan to collar 40 elephants in the near future. It starts with a mission to find one key female.
We have one elephant that we need to put a radio collar on her. She comes here very occasionally. We would like to know where she goes. How can we save these corridors?
The corridors are man-made passageways that allow the elephants to migrate. It's a solution that gives them back an important aspect of their lives and takes pressure off of Lewa's ecosystem. The idea of creating corridors is relatively new, so collaring the elephants will allow their movements to be monitored. The data will help figure out how the elephants are adapting to the new strategy.
We're trying to look for one of the candidates in the group. David is trying to ID our target.
Elephant communities are matriarchal, so collaring one of the key females means that multiple animals are being tracked as well. Having found their target, Matthew takes careful aim. A swing of the tail catches the dart and is a good reminder that working with wild animals is never routine. The dart has to get deep into the muscle to discharge the tranquilizer. Matthew tries again.
We've just gotten a successful dart.
Now they have to keep up until it drops. Driving into a herd of wild elephants is a dangerous business. The faster they can get this done, the safer it will be for all concerned. On this job, the team is joined by a group of local Samburu warriors. Their presence is key. Lewa believes that the local communities have to feel that they are important stakeholders in this conservation work.
Okay, I'm ready.
They work fast. The collaring takes just 10 minutes and the antidote is administered. It's never certain how an animal will react to a foreign drug.
She was really big and we were a bit worried, but I was so impressed how she quickly woke up.
The animal is not impressed. She notices the collar immediately. But collaring this animal is just the beginning. The next day, the operation expands to the hills above the Lewa Conservancy.
Yeah, we are just on our way to a place called Marania. We are going to collar 3 elephants up on the mountain.
A local farm serves as an airstrip, as well as a rendezvous point to coordinate the effort.
We will be having a helicopter, we will be having a super cab, and the guys on the ground.
The plane will act as a spotter in case the helicopter has to pull out.
This is the team that you need to work with. They're so experienced, and God forbid, things can go wrong, but I mean, they can try as much as possible to make sure that things go the right way.
From the air, the plane will be able to survey a large area and locate the elephants. The helicopter follows closer to the ground for the darting operation. As each elephant is located, it's up to the helicopter crew to get close enough to dart the animal.
So the helicopter will go closer and observe and see whether they are the right candidates to dart them.
There's one just under your nose there, yes, that's him. He's gone into the bush, now he's going along the edge.
Probably they will now start pushing them slightly to come to the open ground.
Matthew has darted the big bull. But now they need to try to encourage it to drop in a safe area so the crew can do their work.
Yeah, we are just below you. That's the direction we need to take.
As the elephant slowly starts to become immobilized, the highly coordinated collaring effort shifts into high gear.
So just in case something goes wrong, just need to have firearm because we are in the thick forest. There's a lot of elephant around. So we just need to be ready in case of anything.
Okay, coming towards you there. Yeah, he's just about to go down.
Let's go. So the elephant is being darted, so the elephant is down.
An accessible location is vital. Even under the best conditions, there is no time to waste. The elephant has landed pointing downslope. They flip it to make it more comfortable and so that it will be easier to attach the collar. The drug only immobilizes the animal, so it is fully awake. For its safety, a vet assistant monitors its breathing. With the collar fixed, everyone pulls back to a safe distance, while Matthew administers the antidote.
This one is a healthy fella.
We just need to move out of here.
Now going to go to look for another bull and try to see if we can put a dart on him and a collar.
With the first animal safely on its way, it's been smooth sailing so far.
I've got another herd, a family herd.
But they are just getting started. And things are about to get more complicated. The Lewa Wildlife Conservancy is involved in a massive elephant collaring operation in the hills of Mount Kenya.
Now going to go to look for another bull.
They're going to put radio tracking collars on 40 elephants. This will help the staff keep track of their movements. After collaring a male, it's time to check that the tracking technology is working.
Yeah, tunaondoka. Tulikuwa tuna test. You can hear that click. So it's still around.
Yeah, he's not too far. The collar is working. Thank goodness.
Success. But there is no time to waste. Matthew in the chopper is about to dart a second elephant, this time a female.
Twende mbele kidogo.
You come with the main road. You come with the main road.
They just tell us to go forward.
Turn right where I am. Turn right where I am now.
The helicopter is able to get into a good position. This elephant's drop location is more remote than the first, and it's taken longer to get to her, which means their window of safety is rapidly closing.
I'm just monitoring the breathing rates. The opioid is wearing out. Yeah, so we have to hurry up.
Wanaume tukae chonjo. Hao jamaa wanakuja.
In minutes, she'll get the antidote and hopefully start to move. She won't be happy.
But you will see some movement of the legs, you'll see some movement of the trunk, and the ear is a final warning for you to run. Guys, get off! Get off!
The female revives successfully. The team is making great time. It's still late morning with 2 elephants collared and 1 to go. But there's a problem. This elephant has landed in an unsafe position on its hind legs. This puts enormous pressure on the animal and makes it hard for it to breathe.
I mean, he looks tight.
Just placing the
Thank you, sir.
It's a success. To everyone's relief, the elephant revives and is fine.
The first two animals were really great, but the last animal, they know that the animal was sitting on the wrong position, so that's why they really take short time. Because the bottom line was really successful to have 3 animals in a couple of hours, from morning to midday.
Lewa and its partners has kicked off a new program. They're going to put radio collars on 40 elephants so that the staff can monitor their movements and keep track of their locations. It's a massive and costly operation that involves airplanes, helicopter, ground crews, Kenyan government vets, and people from the local communities. It also involves incredible skill. Sedating these giants is tricky. But as the first day shows, these elephants are being cared for by one of the best and most experienced wildlife teams in the world.
There was communication from the chopper, from the fixed wing, the ground team. So it was a very cooperative team, and that's why we're very successful within a very short time with those 3 elephants.
The Conservancy has been so successful with its elephant program that it now has an overabundance of the animals. Their eating habits have to be managed so they don't destroy the environment. Their tendency to wander brings them in conflict with local communities. And of course, there's the ever-present danger from poachers who will kill an animal just to take its ivory tusks. Managing wildlife in the 21st century is about constant vigilance and constant innovation.
Wildlife is like a gold. Talking of gold in other countries, Kenya, they have a gold, which is wildlife. So we need to protect them. We need to keep them. If you don't have somewhere like Lewa, people, they will never see a rhino. People, they will not ever see a lion in a close range or an elephant or something like that. So Lewa is sort of like a learning point for the entire world.